All right, so some people recently were asking me about my ALF and how that experience is going. So I thought I'd provide a bit of an update. It's been about 10 months, I'd say, since I started doing the treatment. During that time, you're meant to get it adjusted every month, or every couple of months. I was a bit slack, I'd say the last, maybe since July, so probably 8 months of that 10 months, I've been a bit slack. So I think overall I've had it adjusted maybe 5 times in 10 months. I think about 5 times. And yeah, this is, I guess, my experience of it. So yeah, so this is the ALF just here. So I've got the top and the bottom. They just clip in like this. And what I would say is that it's not been as maybe life-changing as I thought it would be, but maybe that's just there's a few reasons probably for that. One is that at the start I was not, even despite having had a tongue tie release, I wasn't being very consistent with all the tongue stretching and all that sort of stuff. And you're meant to make sure that you're really good with the tongue and everything, because then it's going to be pressing on the ALF, which is pressing on the hard palate. That's the idea. You're meant to be doing a lot of that tongue suction hold stuff, like all this sort of stuff all the time. Another thing is that and just quickly is that I have recently been doing a lot more of that tongue stuff, because I've been seeing a myofunctional therapist recently for some consecutive treatments, and that's definitely been helping. My tongue at the moment is a lot more flexible than it was even just, I'd say, 4 or 5 weeks ago. So that's going really well. What else is there? Yeah, and so I'd say one of the things is that I wasn't doing as much of the tongue stuff, which is really important. Another thing is having those spread out appointments. The reason it's spread out is partly because it's actually really expensive when you go and have the ALF adjusted. The place that I go, they charge a lot of money, so I try to space it out as much as possible. And one of the other reasons is that when I initially got the ALF, it was pushing my front teeth out, specifically, I think, up here, and it made it really, really obvious. I don't know if you can tell. It's not that bad anymore. Well, I don't notice it anymore, but this tooth here was pushed quite far out within like the first day or two. So very quickly I went back there, and then they adjusted it for free, obviously. So for a long time, the ALF wasn't necessarily pressing that much on this area. But now, given that I've had it treated for a long time, today they actually adjusted it so that it is now actually pressing on that part. Before it was more kind of on the sides where it was applying a lot of pressure. I'd also say that as part of my experience, I've had a lot of pain around my wisdom teeth, which means that if you eat anything where you have to chew a lot, which is, I guess, what those teeth that there are for, is that you often, if you get like the tiniest bit stuck in there, it will just become really, really painful. So make sure you have some floss around. That's definitely helpful. So actually the last couple of weeks, I wasn't even wearing the ALF. I got the ALF adjusted today, so I'm now wearing it again. The last 2 weeks, I haven't been wearing it because I was getting so much pain on my molars. And then, yeah, today, and I mean, this has now been 2.5 months since I was last there, so, or maybe even 3 months. So I really should have got it adjusted a month ago anyway. And what happens if you leave it too long is that your cranium, which you're trying to shape with the ALF, after a while, that cranium has now warped the ALF so that it's not it's not fixed in a state that it's going to actually be conducive and helpful for you. Yeah, in terms of cleaning, I would say try to be more consistent than I've been. I usually obviously like rinse it before putting it in, and after taking it out and putting it in the box. But I'd say it'd be good to, yeah, be more rigorous about cleaning it properly with some, I'd say some mouthwash is probably the best way to do it, with some warm water. But yeah, that's basically my experience. What I would say that my jaw definitely seems to be more developed than it was before, and my arch is definitely bigger. There's no doubt about that. Next time I go there, which is in a month and a half or 2 months, I'm going to ask them for some photos from the start, so then I can compare them to some current photos, because I think that would be quite helpful as a video as well. But yeah, so this is 10 months. As I said, I've not been too consistent with the appointments where they adjust it, but I've generally been pretty consistent with wearing it, mostly at night. I haven't really been wearing it in the day. You're meant to wear it up to 16 hours. I'm not really been doing that, but I'll try and do it now, and see how we go. But yeah, one of the reasons that I'm confident that this will work in the long run, and I know I've been doing it for a while, is that when I've had endonasal treatments, which is where they put this balloon up your nose and then, you know, kind of, I don't maybe pop it, I don't know how you'd say, blow it on, it makes this it kind of makes all the cranial bones up here kind of expand and go to their proper position. It doesn't, at least for me, it didn't last more than, you know, a day or whatever. But you get that experience of, oh wow, it seems really open and clear here, and it's particularly for seeing. I'm not sure if you're a singer, but particularly for seeing, that extra space helps you to resonate in your nose a lot easier, in your nasal cavities. You never want to sing into your nose, obviously, but it helps you to access those nasal cavities a lot better. And yeah, you just have a lot less congestion. So I'm confident that in the long run, the ALF is going to do that, so that can have that kind of feeling the whole time. And it's particularly now that it's actually pressing on this area here, that should also accelerate that part of it. So yeah, hopefully that works. And yeah, if you've got an ALF or you're about to get an ALF put in, I would be happy to answer any questions you got. But that's pretty much my update from 10 months. It's really expensive getting this stuff. Like, part of me doesn't think it was worth the amount that you pay for it. But maybe in the long run, I will have more positive things to say about it. I am still excited about what's going to come, and I say, do I regret it? I don't regret it, but I definitely have questioned more whether it was the right idea to go forward with this, because it's a massive expense, and I owe money as a result. So yeah. Anyway, good luck with if you're getting an ALF or if you've got an ALF, and yeah, do let me know if you've got any questions, and I'll speak soon.